What until now has been considered a normal family, made up of a father, a mother, and a number of children, has in recent years begun to be viewed as only one among several options. And I want to remind you today, even that statement right there, in some circles, would probably be considered hate speech because it's narrow in its perspective. And I want you to understand, and I think most of you today would probably agree with this, I really believe that probably the most important relationship that God has instituted is the biblical picture of marriage. And the reason I believe it's probably the most foundational and important relationship that God has created is, first of all, it is the foundation of the home. And therefore, it's the foundation of the society that we live in. But more importantly, it is the relationship that most accurately represents our relationship as God's children with Him. It's a picture of our salvation. That's how marriage is designed. It's a picture of what God has done for us, making us His children, eventually the bride of Christ, and what He's done for us to be able to have this relationship. A godly biblical marriage is simply a picture of God's amazing grace and His salvation. And that's why the marriage, the home, the family unit is so important for us as Christians to embrace and make sure that we're being stewards, good stewards of that relationship. Certainly, I don't think anybody would disagree with this. The marriage and the home in general is certainly under attack. It's being eroded at its very foundation. Dr. James Dobson said this in a book on families years ago. You probably heard it. I've written this down in many of my sermons and quoted him. But he said this: as goes the home, so goes the nation.